Thank you to AndrewAJT, our Patreon sponsor for this video, and thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Hope you guys enjoyed that cat content with Onesie. Make sure you hit the like button because for every 100 likes, I'll give her another treat. Within reason, of course. Hello everyone, my name is AndrewAJT and we are back with a new video, Dagannoth Kings on OSRS. This is another in the series of Dagannoth Kings videos. If you guys haven't followed the channel for a long time, you might not know that I have almost 14,000 KC at these bosses. I really enjoy doing them, they're probably my favorite in the game. And my goal is to get the pet drops. Currently I've won the Dagannoth Supreme Pet, and I'm quite unlucky with them. I probably should have at least 2 by now, but that's okay. We're going to go for more of them. Luckily they are very good GP, and also very fun to do. In past videos I've shown you guys compilations of thousands of Dagannoth King kills. I don't have quite that many to show you this time, maybe 500 to 1,000 if I had to estimate. But there were some interesting things that happened, and also something very unfortunate. So if you've never seen a DK's video from me, the way I usually show the loot is I just show these quick clips of all of them, and I don't go like, oh look at that, a berserker ring, oh look at that, another berserker ring. I just kind of talk over them, and use this time to talk about other topics sometimes. So not a lot has changed about my gear at DK's over the last few months. I pretty much use the same stuff. One thing I'm considering using is the Sanguinesti staff, if I could afford it, because it would heal you when you're fighting Rex, which would be pretty convenient. I don't typically have issues with HP, but every once in a while I might, which you'll see later in the video. It would just be nice to make it a little bit easier in general, because there are those times when you are getting bad SGS specs and no food drops, so that extra little convenience might be worth it. It is very expensive though, both to buy and to use, so let me know if you think the Sanguinesti staff is worth it. One thing I've been meaning to talk about is the new long-awaited Authenticator and Account Security blog, and this basically gives us 2 things. It tells us that we're not going to get the Authenticator delay, most likely, which is still a disappointment, but they do offer an alternative called backup codes, and many websites do use these. And I think this is at least something. It would definitely make it a little bit harder for hackers to get you. Maybe just an extra hoop for them to go through. So I am looking forward to this being implemented. I don't think it's as good as an Authenticator delay, but it would be an improvement. If you don't know how it works, basically you would have a code which would be the only way you can remove your Authenticator. So if a hacker hacked you, they got your email and your RuneScape password, in theory that alone wouldn't be enough to disable your Authenticator, because they would need the code as well, which is a decent system, and they are saying that they would be very strict about removing it for people who lost their code, which is really important because you would need Jagex to be really not giving in if a hacker was pretending to be you in that situation. You'd really want them to be stingy about making exceptions to the rule. So this is good news. I do wish Jagex would upgrade their customer support systems though, because we've seen the Jagex support Twitter handle not always be super helpful. Even if there was like a customer support phone number or live chat type of thing, because it still feels like if you're hacked or you're dealing with account trouble, you really need to either be famous on YouTube or Twitch or get a Reddit post with a lot of upvotes to really get someone to handle your situation individually. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I've certainly seen it happen before where people have to get a lot of public support to be able to get the proper support with their issue. But nevertheless, this is good news. I'm very excited about the backup codes thing. I think it's going to help a lot, and definitely want to give credit where credit is due. This is at least a good solution for now. We'll see how much of an impact it has. Maybe there's some flaws with it that I'm missing, but I can't see this being anything other than an improvement overall. We just will have to see how big of an improvement it is overall, and what other steps need to be taken to really solidify the account security system after this comes out. So that about does it for all the rings in this video. Very fun to do, and we'll tally them up all in a minute. Thanks Optimus for this duo trip. It's always enjoyable to do DKs in a group. So with 750 kills of all 3, I should have averaged around 2 of each ring, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, and this happened with the Archer's ring, so 7.8 mil for 2 of those, which is pretty good. Decently lucky with the Berserker ring, got 3 of them. Very average luck with the Seers ring, got 2 of those, and I got super lucky, but it was with the Warrior ring, which is worth almost nothing, so that didn't really help. I wish that was the Berserker ring, could have been the same thing, equal chance. The good news is you always get the guaranteed DK's bones, so 750 of those came out to around 6.7 mil, which is a very nice bonus. And we also got some miscellaneous items such as battle stabs and loots from clue scrolls and other things like that, so overall I would estimate I got around 26 mil GP from this and maybe around 2 or 3 mil GP per hour, which is pretty good, but it's not as good as it used to be. Look at the prices on the right from the last time I did a whole bunch of these. The Archer's ring and Berserker ring were millions more expensive. Only the DK's bones were really a little bit cheaper. If I had a time machine, the first thing I would do would be to go back and do even more DK's. Those prices were amazing. Now they're just fair. So what happened was I had to re-enter the Dagannoth Kings room after going out to eat on the same world, and this is usually tough to do. I don't usually like to stop trips midway through because you see my HP, having to re-enter the room is really gonna obliterate your HP, and I do realize that in the time I had been gone, which to be fair was a long time, there was someone who had re-entered the room and I guess was doing Rex solo trips, and you can notice this because on the top left there's a Spinalop attacking someone, but I see the sharks over there and I'm like, okay, this guy has so many sharks, I'm sure he can loan me a few so I can hop worlds here. So I go over, let's heal up on the sharks real quick, and uh-oh, dude, you better pray, howdy, but hold on dude, pray. Uh-oh, and what the hell did I just do? This guy is dead. And again, I didn't know who that was at the time. I didn't know it was a hardcore. There's a lot of people who do Rex solos, and usually they are very prepared for other people to be entering the room. I'm sure this guy was, but he was seemingly typing when Prime was over, and he just didn't really realize it. It looked like he misclicked and put Prey Melee on by accident, and that's why I immediately wanted to add him here to try to ask him what happened. And I realize he's a hardcore and I'm like, oh my god, what the heck just happened? But surprisingly and very refreshingly, this guy was super chill about it. He said in a tweet, I deserved it, I should have teleported, and I should have been paying attention. He said a bunch more on his Twitter and on his stream if you want to check that out, which I'll link down below. He was actually streaming it at the time, although I think he had some sort of like be right back screen open when he died, so you can't really see exactly on his end what happened. My footage is the only one as far as I know, but thanks again to him for being so chill about it. I was really surprised by how cool he was about the whole situation. I'm sure that people are going to think this is a conspiracy, that even after almost 14,000 DKs KC, instead of trying to go for the pets or the rings like I usually do, that this trip in particular I tried to get a hardcore killed, even though I didn't know it was a hardcore and he also said it was his fault. People are going to think that probably no matter what, but I think it was pretty clear what happened. And besides, that's a pretty good account. He can just continue as an Ironman if he wants to. That's what I would do if I was a hardcore. And if anything, it unlocks more content for you. You can do wilderness stuff if you weren't going to already. And not to spend too much time on this, but if I wanted to get someone KO'd at DKs, that's not how you do it. I have a lot of experience with this because of all the random people who try to KO me at DKs. What people usually do is they'll bring Rex, Prime, and Supreme on me all at the same time, which is pretty easy to do, and then you either have to Prey Flick or just teleport or eat or whatnot. If you just bring Prime on someone, most people are very ready to just Prey Mage, and there's not much of a danger. So it was really Prime that got him and not me. And I would have no problem PKing a hardcore Ironman if it was the wilderness or if it was a PvP world, but in this situation, I don't get the loot. What would you guys do in that situation? Would you make a new hardcore, or would you continue as an Ironman? I don't think I would ever want to make a second hardcore Ironman if I had a first one, because I just wouldn't want to replay all that content. Sometimes it could be fun because maybe you get different luck on the second account, but in general, I see people going through like 5 hardcore Ironman accounts, and I think I would rather just see them stick with that original account and push towards the higher content and not worry too much about the status. But I guess it does add entertainment value for some people to see hardcore Ironman doing dangerous things, but we've seen hardcore Ironman doing Theater of Blood and raids and all sorts of things where I think the appeal has worn off a little bit for me. Let me know what you think. Apparently that guy is starting a new one, so I wish him best of luck on that. I've seen some much more silly hardcore Ironman deaths than that one. Dying to a boss is a pretty standard thing. That's going to do it for the video today, guys. If you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever I upload. If you want to see my DK's guide, I will put that down below, and if you want to see all my DK's videos, I'll put my playlist in the description as well, and in the end screen. I'm also going to put my account security guide in the description if you want some more tips with that. You can join our clan chat, AndrewAJT62, that'll be up on screen. Feel free to go in there and ask to start a DK strip. You can also join our Discord down below, where we have a PVM channel. You can also follow me on Twitter down below at AndrewAJT, and I'll follow you back if you play RS. And lastly, you can support me on Patreon if you like the videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.